So next, let's proceed on the formative assessment tools and techniques. So as we all know, formative gives feedback, information, and the instructional process while learning is taking place. So first we have the observation. This is an informal assessment techniques of watching students to identify strengths and weaknesses, patterns of behavior, and cognitive strategies. Observation help determine a student that needs additional support and adjust instructions to encourage more and better learning. So probably the most powerful tool for a teacher. Next is we have journal. It's a notebook which a student can write spontaneous response to literature and or assessment of personal progress with reading skills and strategies. So journal writing is the recording of daily events, personal reflections, questions about the environment, and reaction to experiences. So it is one of the most important component of the assessment process because it has the potential to promote critical thinking. It also reinforces the importance of writing across the curriculum with an emphasis on process rather than the product. So it allows for personal expression and serves as a record of thought. So the next is we have conference. So it is a meeting or a conversation involving teacher, student, or a family member to discuss student's progress. So it allows the students to express him or herself in a particular conference. So this is the only time that the parents will be informed about their children's progress and school performances. And for the last one is we have the anecdotal record. So anecdotal record of an informal record event or behavior observed in the classroom. So it is detailed descriptive narrative recorded after specific behavior interaction because of the occurrence. So anecdotal records inform teacher as they plan learning experiences, provides information to families and gives insights into identifying possible developmental delays. So as a future educator, it is important to keep a note of a specific observation of individual students' behavior, skills, and aptitudes in the classroom, and it relates to the outcomes in the program of studies. Now let's proceed under summative assessment tools and techniques. So it takes place after the learning has been completed and provides information and feedback that sums up the teaching and learning process. So summative assessment is more product and oriented and assesses the final product. So first we have examination test or examination. It is an educational assessment intended to measure test takers' knowledge, skills, aptitude, physical fitness, or classification in many other topics. So a test may be administered verbally on paper or computer, or in a predetermined area that requires test taker to demonstrate or perform a set of skills. Next, we have the portfolio assessment, a form of authentic assessment in which students collect samples of their work in a portfolio to the document and to document their progress over time. Different types of portfolios include showcase, which celebrates students' classwork, descriptive, which demonstrate what students can do, evaluative, which assesses students' work against a standard, and progress, which also documents students' work over time. So it is a collection of student breaks that are associated with your with standards you are required to learn. So next is we have the performance assessment. It is a form of informal or authentic assessment that measures students' assessment and understanding of concepts and all procedures. by having them demonstrate what they have learned. So, like for example, role playing. So, based on a particular task performed by the student, it involves a real world class. The demonstrator students' literacy, knowledge, and skill, summative or formative. So the purposes of this one is to see how well the students apply what they are learning in the real world situations and to determine the students' progress. So I also wanted to add the checklist, rating scales, and rubrics. So these are the basic types of assessment tools and techniques. So these are the tools that state specific criteria and allow teacher and students to gather information and to make judgment about what students should do and shouldn't do. So all of them can do in a relation. First is we have the checklist. So this is an assessment guideline. These things, skills, behaviors, or characteristic to help guide and record teachers' observation of students as they perform certain tasks. So by the help of the checklist, it is easy to organize your observation or other information you collect about the students' performance in a given characteristics or items. So next we have the rubrics. So this is an evaluation tool that lists the important features that should be presented in students' performance or products. So rubrics clearly identify what will be graded. So this is an assessment tool that clearly indicates which helps criteria across all the components of any kind of students' work, from written to oral and to visual. So the last one is we have the rating scale. It allows the teachers to indicate the degree or frequency and strategies displayed by the learner. So it is like a dimmer switch that provides for a range of performance levels. So it also gives the students information. And in a rating scale, the descriptive word is more important than the related numbers. So the more precise the words for each scale point, the more reliable the tool. So in conclusion, for that, as a future educator, it is important for us to use assessment tools because it serves well to the yearly the specific expectation for an assignment and for other students' performance. They can be used for grading and for providing feedback to the students and for informing and encouraging students to think about their journey. So it is the sign that the students should understand their progress towards goals and modify their behavior in order to meet those goals. So in order for the students to gain a true representation of their understanding, frequent assessment is critical. So I think that's all for my report. Thank you for listening, and may God bless us all. You can now leave the class.